I hit the button. Now we're going to make internet radio. I'm on the internet radio. I'm on the internet. Whoa, radio.
Well, it's about 7:30 or maybe 6:30 or 10:30, or it might be 1 o'clock where you are. Current conditions.
5 past the hour.
Maybe snowy, maybe rainy, maybe hot, maybe cold. We may be on the verge of apocalypse. Maybe
it's already happened. Dude, did you ever think about that?
What's that?
Like, what if all of a sudden there's a, like let's say that there's an apocalypse and 30 years down the road, like somebody finds like a podcast on like a fucking, like somebody, like, let's say somebody downloads it on their phone.
Well, I mean, like where they find the server it's on or something.
Yeah.
They're like, language of bromance. We will learn the history of the world.
Yeah.
Well, what was Earth like? Well, apparently it was a lot of...
Apparently, ancient man used to make semi-erotic jokes towards each other.
Apparently their language was of a thing called bromance. It might have been why their species died.
Probably.
And stay tuned now for a brand new episode of The Language of Bromance.
Well, I mean, I guess if we're the dodo.
This week's episode is brought to you by Ovaltine.
Ovaltine. It's not chocolate. It's not milk. So what the fuck? What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
And together we are speaking the language of bromance, brought to you by Rich Chocolatey Ovaltine.
So, Richard, today, this is kind of a thing we've been doing for about a year now. It is our pitch. We find some kind of topic we find interesting, and then we kind of, throw out some of our ideas. Like, we're walking into the studio and saying, all right, we got some ideas. And they're like, who let these guys in? Security. Like, no, wait.
Yeah. That's
Ovaltine. A whole Netflix series on Ovaltine. No, for the 5th time, Richard, though, we're going to do this.
Glasses round. Jars round. Should call it Roundtine. That's gold, Jerry, gold.
But this is going to be our Disney Plus pitches. So these are the movies or TV shows that we think need to be on Disney Plus. Right now, if you're listening to this, it's 2020, and there is The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And there is Clone Wars.
Yes.
And there is... that's about it.
Jeff Goldblum.
There's a lot of stuff in the works coming this summer and spring. No, this summer and fall. Summer and fall. Actually, it might be just fall and winter. There might be like one thing in the summer. But these are the things that we think should be on there. And Richard, I'll go ahead and start out because I know you said you were struggling with a few ideas. And I am one that has a ton of ideas for flicks and whatnot.
Yeah, please share. I guess my thing when it comes to like there's a bunch of shit on this fucking Disney Plus. Like, I got it because my kids are like, oh, we got Disney Plus. And I was like, okay, like, I want to watch The Mandalorian. And then I got done watching The Mandalorian, and I'm like, okay, I want to get rid of it. And then my kids are like, no, gotta keep it. So I fucking kept it.
I'm debating on maybe rewatching, like, Smart Guy. I used to watch a shit ton of that.
Oh, Jesus.
Boy Meets World. Might watch some of that.
Yeah, Boy Meets World. Yeah.
It was good. I like
Boy Meets World's pretty good. I don't know if I could rewatch. I
don't think it would age well.
Well, I feel like some of them would. Like the first quite a few, I would probably say no. But
honestly,
once he gets to college, I would say that
no, because when he gets to college, he's like this weird, like he's just got a weird attitude. Then, like when he's a kid, he's kind of a kid, right? But then when he gets to college, he's like, "Oh, co-ed bathrooms, what's that mean? Oh my god, we gotta pee in front of girls? What if they look at my no-no series. And then his brother's like,
you just wrote an episode.
And then his brother's like a super dumbass.
Yes, but I would say that to me, like all that's kind of evergreenish.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in.
I would say
Friends.
that if you're asking me, like, I would say that once he gets to college, I would say that those episodes probably age better.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like Saved by the Bell. Don't watch Saved by the Bell. Do you remember Saved by the Bell?
But the college years?
You remember? No, not the college years. I just mean Saved by the Bell in general. Do you remember it? Do you remember it in your mind?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep it there. Keep it there. Don't go back. Don't go back and watch it.
I rewatched it a lot when it was on syndication on TBS and stuff, so I kind of got like the relapse of it.
Yeah, I did too. And then I, got older and I was like, oh my God, Saved by the Bell was fucking fantastic. And then it was on Netflix for a minute. For a hot minute, it was on Netflix. And I was like, oh my God, fucking Saved by the Bell's on here. I'm going to watch it. Shawn, I couldn't make it through one episode. I couldn't make it through a single. I watched all of those multiple times.
Same boat.
I couldn't make it through a single episode of Saved by the Bell. I was like, this is fucking garbage. This is hot garbage.
The show that I there's a couple episodes on my sling that I want to go back and check out, but I'm scared to because of that. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think it would hold up, but I don't know for sure.
Maybe.
That's one of those that I'm scared to like open that Pandora's box.
Yeah, I could see that.
But Richard, for my first thing I want to talk about is a reboot of Saved by the Bell, which actually they're doing. Not Disney. NBC is on their Peacock TV, their streaming service. They're going to bring.
Did they seriously name it Peacock TV?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
So there's Netflix and chill, Disney Plus, this dick, and then Peacock in your mouth.
Not even burying the lead. No, it's just Peacock. Well,
they called it.
But apparently, like Zach is governor.
You want some Peacock and TV?
You want to see my peacock, my peacock? But apparently, Zach is like the governor of California, is the way the show's going to kind of go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm not. It's got like a bunch of the original characters except Screech because reasons.
What? So he stabbed a guy and made porn.
Yeah. And he's had a lot of run-ins. Like his stand-ups I heard were like, you say vulgar.
He seems like a fucking like walking train wreck.
But Richard, walking train wreck. That's perfect for this because Richard, I want, and they are doing this, but I'm not sure if I like the direction they're going with it because I don't know if I want a movie or a TV series. Okay. I'm leaning towards a movie because I think a TV series is a little too much for this.
Okay.
Because it's Disney's equivalent to what was the baseball movie with the kids?
Sandlot?
No, with the coach that was a dick.
Bad News Bears?
Yeah, this is like Disney's Bad News Bears, but not like as emotionally scarring.
Okay.
Richard, I want a great remake of The Mighty Ducks. So they're making a TV show, and it's going to have Emilio Estevez in it. But the selling point of the TV show is that it's a mom, which I don't mind. I don't mind this. I think it'd be kind of cool to do this in an actual just movie. But it's a mom who is coaching the team, and her daughter's like the star of it. So she's kind of the.
Is the
Dawson's
mom
Creek
forced
kid.
To do it because she got like a DUI?
I hope so. Like that's what I really want.
So basically, you want to see a drunken woman on the road.
Yeah, why not? That'd be cool. Like, not even make her a mom. Just make her like a lawyer that's drunk and gets pulled over. And Mr. Ducksworth's like, you gotta coach a peewee hockey team. She's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Can I just show you my boobs? He's like, well, you can, but you still gotta coach a hockey team.
Don't show them your boobs. We'll be right back here.
But they're doing a TV series for this, and to me, if like there's a Mighty Ducks TV series where they're like superheroes. There's a cartoon they used to have. I only think I watched an episode or two of this, but to do a full like Bad News Bears-esque show where it's a bunch of, bumbling kids who like aren't really good, who come from the bottom and now they're here kind of thing, and they become champions. That's what Mighty Ducks taught
it was very bad. It did have a Bad News Bears vibe, but I feel okay. See, like with the Bad News Bears was good. Mighty Ducks was like Bad News Bears, but like with this Disney veneer of like, oh, they're bad kids, but they're not like bad kids.
Well, what it teaches you, what that tried to teach you is like, hey, even though you suck, if you try really, really hard, you'll get a redemption story and you'll win that trophy. You know what, Richard? That's not true. Everybody in my generation gets a trophy, Richard. You know who doesn't get a trophy?
Who doesn't get a trophy?
I don't get a trophy. I've never gotten a single trophy in my life, Richard.
I got a trophy once.
I hate you. Shut up.
I did. It was for scariest costume at a Halloween party.
What'd you dress up as?
I was in second grade.
Was that when you dressed up as a Frankenfurter?
No, I dressed up as a vampire. Although when I did dress up as Frankenfurter, I did win $100 cash.
Oh, nice. In singles? Are you sure it was cash and somebody wasn't just like throwing them at you?
No, it was cash.
Like strut it, hot stuff. You're like, no, I'm Frankenfurter. Like, whatever.
And then I drank too much and I was forced to coach a Pee-wee hockey league.
Like, you show up in your Frankenfurter outfit. But no, like, I would dig, if they're going to do it, I think it should just be a movie, though. Because I think
if they're going to do it, then those kids need to be, like, swearing fucking, like asshole kids.
Like, it's like Slapshot, but with kids.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, the Bad News Bears, like, they were, it was like Stand By Me. It was like the Stand By Me kids. But, like, with Mighty Ducks, it was like the Bad News Bears, but like with this fucking like Disney PG shine on it. And
even then, like, you can get through a movie of that. Like, you can get through, 90 minutes. Yeah. I don't think there's a way I could sit through 10 or 8 30-minute episodes of this. Because, if it's a movie, it's Disney, it's Mighty Ducks, you're like, okay, they're going to win in the end. That's what's going to happen.
That was, okay, so I was going to ask, are you going to have them win at the end?
If you do a TV series, if you want more than one season, you can't have them win. They have to lose. It's got to be Bad News Bears. But, the problem is if they're making it for kids, if it's at the end, it's like, well, like my son, who's going to be like 5 when it comes out, he's going to look at me. He's like, Dad, is that what really happens? Does the jerks really win? And the team that has the biggest heart lose? And I'm like, yes, son, that's exactly what happens.
That's what happens.
Well, Dad, what can I do to make sure that cannot happen? Well, you got to, be 6'6", about 250 pounds, and,
not
win.
Be you. That's how.
My phone rings. It's like, hey, Pookie Bear, your dad wants to talk to you. Laura, I know he's talking about that goddamn Mighty Ducks. I can sense it. It's like my fucking sixth sense. He never won a trophy, Laura.
God damn it.
Yeah. But so I do want to see a Mighty Ducks remake or maybe an extension. But I don't want to see a TV series. So I think that's one that I'm kind of interested in tweaking or changing a little bit. But again, a little bit more Bad News Bears.
So you would have the kids be a bit more surly.
Yeah, I think because who's going to be in the bag for the Mighty Ducks? It's going to be older people because my age, they've seen it. They're in their 30s now. They know what life's about. It's like, well, I don't want to see a happy kid. Like I want that pain to be real at a young age.
Yeah, you want the kids to be like, fuck. It's like that's the thing. It's like you can't even have them doing like like it's not like they're going to be like swiping Playboys.
That's true.
Like those aren't around.
Well, and the thing too is
they'll be trading links on Pornhub.
Yeah. Well, and the kids look at that and you're like, hey, you want to see Goldberg? What happened to him? You show a picture of his mugshot because he's all fudged up on meth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he broke into somebody's house, I think, and stole stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what happens, kids, when you lose your goalie spot and you become a number 2.
Not for everybody. Like some people fall asleep in other people's houses and then they go to jail and then they have a huge redemption story.
That's true. But I don't think he was doing meth.
No, Robert Downey Jr. just drank a lot.
Yeah. He did drugs too, right? He did cocaine, surely, right?
I'm surely, yeah.
Okay.
But he went to jail and he got out and then he made movies.
It's true, but he wasn't in Mighty Ducks. That's the kid actor. Well, he was a kid actor too, wasn't he? Or did he start when he was 18?
Imagine if he was in Mighty Ducks.
Ooh. Oh shoot, yeah. That's your Emilio Estevez character.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like that. He's like, "Hey kids, you know I was Iron Man." But what do you have for a pitch?
Okay, so the pitch I have, it's a Marvel show, but it's a show that I think was going to get made and then got shelved. Let's see. Yes. So the series, there's a series that was going to be developed, but then kind of got shelved. But I think it is an awesome idea, and with the right casting, and I need you to help me with casting, but with the right casting, I feel like this show could be fantastic. But it's got to be funny, because I feel like that's the only way you're going to be able to do this show. Okay? So here's the show, Damage Control.
Oh, was that that's the people that go around and like clean up
after fucking superhero fights.
Ooh, okay. So would you do this? I would think this would work as like an Office type show.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, but who would the characters be? I think maybe a couple of people from New Girl might work, because this has got to be like a sitcom, right?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be like you said, like The Office, like a workplace mockumentary kind of a feel, kind of like a Spinal Tap, but with construction.
I think there's a couple people from Always Sunny that I think would work out there pretty well.
Yeah. Fucking what's the guy? He's making that show for Apple TV.
Yeah, I was just trying to look it up. Not Charlie Day. Charlie Day would be good in there though.
Charlie Day, so I think in my head I'm thinking you have Rob, I can't think of his name, but he could be like your office guy. Charlie Day would definitely be your guy, like on the ground.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like running the site.
I think you grab from some people from Community. The one principal from Community. I think he would have a part in there. Maybe he's like the HR guy.
Okay.
So he's your HR guy. I want Allison Brie in there just because I'm a huge Allison Brie fan. Caitlin Olsen from Sunny. I think she should be in there. What was the other show I mentioned?
Basically, you just want the entire Always Sunny cast. That's what I'm
hearing. They would work in there. What I said Always Sunny. What was the first show I said?
The gang fixes a building.
The League. So that was a show that I loved. There's a couple guys you would want in here. Let me see if I can pull them up.
But yeah, 100%. You have to do this like a workplace comedy.
Oh yeah. Paul Scheer, Nick Kroll, I think would be good. Jonathan.
And then
Lejejo.
you'd cameo in fucking all sorts of, you'd cameo in superheroes, you cameo in supervillains.
I would say with superheroes and villains, it would just like, you would see like, it'd be kind of like, Cloverfield, where the shots you see of them is like grainy video shots.
100%. Yes.
And you'd have to find like the superheroes that'd be reoccurring characters would have to be like your very, very like low level, like crappy superheroes, like Eraser Man in DC, like stuff like that, where it's like, you're not really a superhero. It's like, I am. It's like, well, do something. It's like, well, I could if I wanted to, but I don't. 'Cause I don't have superhero insurance.
Apparently, Damage Control did make an appearance in Spider-Man Homecoming. In the film, there's a government agency known as the U.S. Department of Damage Control, which was a joint venture between Stark Industries and the U.S. government to clean up after the Battle of New York. So Damage Control. Okay, so you remember in the beginning of Homecoming when Michael Keaton is, with his guys, and then these people show up, the government shows up.
Their damage control?
That was damage control.
Oh, yeah, but see, I don't want it to be serious. I'd like
exactly. Like in that capacity, like they're like fucking Homeland Security showing up and they're like, hey, fuck off. This is alien shit. You can't touch it.
Yeah, Marvel's always got to be so serious. I don't want serious in my damage control.
But yes, so they were apparently ABC originally was going to make a damage control series. And that was, they announced this. They're like, oh, we're going to do this show. And that was like 3 years ago.
I wonder, like, again, like, I think you just pull a lot of the bits from Office. Like, you send them on like a retreat, you know, chemical maintenance. Like, you have them like going through hazmat safety.
Yeah. It's like, okay, now we're gonna role play out an exercise. Ready? Okay. Oh, I'm Loki with my pokey stick. Tap.
What do
punch
I
that
do?
guy in the face. Wham!
No, you can't attack Loki.
No,
why not? I just
can't.
punched him. He's
it's
down on the ground crying.
Oh, damn it. It wasn't, it was just a stick. It wasn't even a real. Oh, shit.
Look at me. I'm Hawkeye. I have arrows. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Is that a Cupid set? Yeah. Look at me. I'm Thor. Yeah, you're fat Thor.
Yeah. More like present day Thor. I remember 2008, 2012 Thor.
I let him bang me till I was Thor.
Fuck off, Karen.
I'd be down for that. Like I said, a mockumentary Office style would be really good. Then they could go like to the bar and they don't realize the bar they go to is like a villain bar.
Yeah. You could like honestly like I feel like you could cameo lesser known heroes like you said, or kind of like, you know, like the shit end of the stick heroes, but then like maybe once in a while, or and like you said, you had these like Cloverfield shots of fights. The thing of it is like, okay, so you have the Avengers movie, big battle, a lot of shit got torn up. But other than that, other than the Avengers movies, like I'm struggling to think of like huge amounts of property destruction.
I mean, Civil War, there was quite a bit. In Winter Soldier, there was quite a bit.
Oh yeah, Winter Soldier, yeah.
Yeah.
It was fucking giant helicarriers that crashed into Washington, D.C. all over the place.
And maybe you find all the smaller things. So like this, like the band of misfits you're following aren't the ones that actually clean up those big ones because they can't be trusted with it.
Oh my God, what if one of them finds an Ultron bot and activates it?
Oh, yeah.
Like on accident?
And they like, somehow they reprogram it just to get coffee. And it's basically like a ticking time bomb.
Fucking fantastic.
I like that idea.
I reprogrammed it so it doesn't want to murder people. I want to murder you. I mean, it says it, but I can't stop it from talking, but it doesn't do it. So then it's just like constantly like, I fucking hate you. Like the robot's just like, I fucking hate you guys.
But what
here's your coffee.
He put little like T-Rex arms on it so it can't do anything.
Oh my God. Yes.
Comes after him violently. Ultron reboot. Are you done? Yes. Are you sure?
Fuck off.
Reboot. Stop it, goddammit, that
like
hurts.
You just program it so that it's basically like trapped. It's trapped in its own body. Like it can't do anything.
What if it's actual Ultron too?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's Ultron and he can't do anything, but he's still like mouthing away.
Yeah, he's like, wiggle your big toe. It's like, I didn't program you to do that.
Yeah.
God damn it. Joe, quit getting the coffee. Stop making the coffee.
I almost destroyed your entire fucking planet.
That's what his... So they get him an apron.
Yeah.
They get him an apron that says, I almost destroyed Earth and all I got was this goddamn apron.
Cool story, but now you're a Roomba, so fuck off.
Yeah. Hey, coffee's not going to serve itself, Ultron.
I hate you.
Baristron.
When I get a new robot body, you guys are fucked. You'll be the first to go. I'm coming after you specifically.
Cream or sugar.
And you have fucking, what's his name? I can't think of the guy that did the voice of Ultron. He was in the Blacklist.
Oh yeah, he's a big name guy though.
James Spader.
Yeah, that'd be good. I like.
See, I'm already spinning off ideas in my head.
Well, yeah, that's
one of them finds an Ultron bot and accidentally turns it on.
Oh, maybe they find one of the stones too.
They find an Infinity Stone. Yeah. They could find the Mind Stone, and then the Ancient One could show up and be like, "That's mine." Sorry.
Oh shit! If you want, like they try to hire Doctor Strange to do like for like a company like party to do magic tricks. It's like that's not what I do. That's not what we do here.
I fucking command Sorcerer Supreme.
Do a trick. Make us a clown.
I could bring you an actual clown.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So yeah, there's a pitch for you. Damage Control. Like I said, it was going to be on ABC. They were like in 2016. They were like, "Oh, we're going to do the show Damage Control," and that was 2016.
I mean, they might have taken off because of Disney Plus. So maybe because that would be low budget. You can make that pretty cheap.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you just put all your money into basically casting.
Yeah. Well, for my next pitch, so I've like the Mighty Ducks was my kind of like remake callback, live action. But I kind of wanted like a cartoon remake too.
Okay.
And this is one when I watched, I think there's only one season of it on Disney Plus. I think there's only like 3 seasons total. And as a kid, like you don't realize that there's only that number of seasons because, like my kid,
when you're a kid, you don't realize that seasons exist.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I want to watch Chip and Dale's 37 times today, and it's the exact same episodes. You don't care.
Yeah.
But what I'd like, Richard, is an adult Batman animated style version
of
DarkWing Duck.
Okay, so I thought about this. How would you do it in a serious tone, or would you do it in the tone that the show was, where it was kind of like where he was a quote unquote hero, but he was a bit of an idiot. It was a bit of like a buffoon.
Yeah, it was kind of like Inspector Gadget, where his niece was the one that was really kind of doing everything. But like first seat, I would say it's got to be semi-serious. I don't think you would go as far as Batman Dark, but you might make it like a preteen kind of like semi-serious. And what's cool about this is I don't remember what Darkwing Duck's I think it was his niece, what her name was in it, but first season you have it where he's kind of grooming her to become Darkwing Woman or whatever you want to call her.
Yeah, because it was Darkwing Duck, and then there was the niece, and then Launchpad.
Yeah, and Launchpad can kind of become a character too through this. You could I don't know of any of the actual villains that were in Darkwing Duck, but you could create some really cool villains and give them really cool backstory.
I remember there was an electric one.
There
was a plant guy
one.
There was like a mirror.
Wasn't there like a cold bird one? And then wasn't there like a feline one?
Oh, fuck, I don't remember.
Wasn't there like one that was like into hammers and one that told jokes? And that was her boyfriend?
I think there was one that told jokes.
It probably was.
I think you're right.
I mean, with this too, you could rip off any like superhero villain too. I mean, like it's like, oh, this is the comedian, or maybe you can't use comedian because that's what, like this is the jokey jokester. But you could do anything with it, and that's what is cool with these kinds of things. Is it's almost like a parody, like a serious parody of like superhero things, and it's a duck. You know, you can make up. I can't remember what the name of the town was they're in too. I need to rewatch it. It's been a minute.
Okay. So here's the villains. You had Taurus Bulba. Tim Curry did that voice.
Oh, nice.
Wow. You had Megavolt. Megavolt was the electric one. Quackerjack.
Holy shit. Season 1 had 65 episodes.
Damn. Reginald Bushroot. So that was the plant one. There was Liquidator, who was a water guy, and Ammonia Pine, Tusker Mini, and Steelbeak.
I think Steelbeak. I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember. I vaguely remember that one.
But because I mean, it's like this because Disney doesn't have Batman, right? This is their equivalent of Batman, but it's a duck.
My God, really? That's they're like Batman, and then Disney's like DarkWing Duck. Like that's what we got.
I mean, if you are you trying to tell me you couldn't go and get the people who did the animated series for Batman, bring them in and say like you got Darkwing Duck and basically the sandbox you can do whatever you want with. They
oh my God, dude! Great. Like yeah, but I mean, like the art team for fucking Batman the animated series was unparalleled. It's
Disney; they could buy all of them.
That's true.
I mean, they can find artists that are like, yeah, you see what they did? I want it better. And they will. But I mean, I like the idea. And the only thing I would want it changed from the animated series is I would want it more like the Batman the animated series, if I remember right, each episode was kind of its own thing. I would want this to be more like an actual season. Like each one had, kind of a big bad that it was going after and maybe a few little monster of the week type of episodes, but like a big story arc for the whole season.
Okay.
And I mean, you could do 20-minute episodes for this. And like I said, kind of get it preteen, teenish. You've got your female superhero you can put in there too. You got Launchpad and Darkwing Duck.
I have no idea how well the DuckTales reboot went.
I didn't. Oh, I've watched a couple episodes of that. It's not bad.
It's not bad?
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, I'm down with it because you got David Tennant as Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, you said DuckTales, and I thought of Chip and Dale for some reason. I was like, they're remaking Chip and Dale's?
No, yeah. No, the DuckTales remake they did.
Yeah, it's not bad. We've watched a couple episodes with the kiddo.
Nice.
But yeah, that'd be my pitch. You get yourself a Darkwing Duck, a little bit darker, 12 episodes a season, overarching arc.
Yes, but like, would he like? I don't know. I guess the fundamental dynamic of that show is between Darkwing Duck and the niece.
Yeah,
and so if he doesn't come off as buffoonish, like I feel like I feel like if you make the show a little darker, then you're gonna have to make Darkwing Duck a little smarter.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like that kind of fucks with the fundamental formula of the show.
It's not going to be the Darkwing Duck that we know and love as kids, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think you'd have to build it to where, she's going to show up for one reason or another, and there's going to be something that he can't do without her help. Yeah. And that's when he's going to realize, I would say you even do that within the first 4 to 5 episodes. And she becomes his sidekick. And then Launchpad's kind of the driver. More, I guess he'd be more the butler, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I was kind of excited. I don't have a big story arc idea, but I that's something that I would love to sit down and pitch with somebody, which is kind of what we're doing now, but
true,
in more detail.
All right, Shawn. Now I'm gonna tell you the idea for this. I'm just gonna say the title of this show, and your mind's gonna run wild. Not just because there's been so many stories about already that you could mimic those, but just the myriad of different directions that you could do one-off episodes of this show. You could do multi-season or single season story arcs. You've got a ton of space and time to work with. It is a Star Wars series, so I'm gonna start there. So upcoming we have Obi-Wan. You have an Obi-Wan series, but I think we're underutilizing the most significant part of the entire Star Wars franchise.
Jar Jar Binks.
Shawn, why isn't there a Jar Jar Binks show?
I don't know. That's what I've been asking.
No, Shawn.
They say, hey, what's your suggestions for Disney Plus? I say, Jar Jar Binks standalone.
Why is there not a show about Darth Vader?
Ooh, I feel like that's one they're keeping in their back pocket for an actual movie.
I see. I feel like a movie. If you do a movie, you're thinking too small.
I agree, because I've been reading some of the Darth Vader comics.
Exactly.
Those are good.
Exactly.
Like, the point where, I mean, it's like the end of Rogue One Vader, like the scary ass Vader.
Exactly. And there's all sorts of different all sorts of different fucking tangents you could take that show. Like in the comic, it's him, and he's got this little crew of people, and they're all doing shit.
There's like some they're not like real Jedi, but they're like kind of Jedi that is like under him, and the newer one, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, he's got his Inquisitors.
Yeah, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah. The Seven Sisters.
Because there was like a group of people, wasn't all sisters, but they were like sent after to kill him, and he ended up killing one or two of them, or their leader. Now they work for him.
Right. But there's all sorts of fucking different fucking tangents you could take this show. I mean, in the old expanded universe stories, there was a criminal syndicate called the Black Sun, and this happened between 3 and 4, but Vader, the leader of this Black Sun syndicate, was named Prince Zizor, and he was like currying favor with the Emperor to the point where like Vader felt like he was getting pushed out and Zizor was getting pushed in. And so he systematically goes on this like fucking like one-man crusade against the entire syndicate. But see, that's the thing, is like, it would be this constant fucking cat and mouse game, because Vader, operates, or he has to operate, to a certain point. He has to operate under the Emperor's nose.
Yeah.
Like all the shit he does is done without Imperial consent.
Yeah, there's one of the comic series is kind of similar. There's a guy who feels like he's getting pushed in, and he goes out and takes them all out.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the Emperor back too. So I guess where would you want to start? Like, to me, I'd want to start like 10 minutes after the no. Because that's when he's going to be the most pissed. You could find him going and getting his red lightsaber.
Yeah.
Which they talk about in one of the comics too. Like, it's like this whole thing. He goes up, he's fighting, like, I think it was an actual, like, one of the last Jedi around, or like a Sith.
Yeah, you could have him getting his lightsaber. You could have him, like finding and creating Inquisitors. You could have, you could, like you said, like we were talking about, you could have, oh shit, you could have somebody trying to be like, I'm the Emperor's, bestie, and then Vader's like, fuck you. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, because
you could totally Game of Thrones the entire thing.
Oh, you really could, yeah. Because I mean,
because the whole thing's like, they're all bad guys.
Yeah. Well, because it's 16 years from the time he becomes Darth Vader to the time that his son is at a certain age.
Yeah.
So, let's say this kicks off and you get 8 seasons in. So he's like 8 years old. You could have almost like a mini Civil War type of storyline.
You could.
Where like stuff internally starting to break down, and there's factions he's got to fight where like the Empire almost falls there.
Wasn't one of the issues of the comic where like somebody was like fucking with Padme's grave and he like loses his shit?
I thought there's always references back to Padme and his mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, you touch on that. I mean, he goes somewhere and like he's with a bunch of stormtroopers, like, oh, look at this stupid Padme. And they like start to shoot at it. And he's like, hey, guess what? Force choke you all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know where you do that at, but that's where you start to turn and see, like, that's where you get a little sadness for him. Because you can't hate him all the time. Right?
No.
There's gotta, and that's what the comics do really well. Yeah, because like you'll see him go to do something and you'll see the Emperor really like controlling him.
Right.
Because he'll have these like aspects of where he thinks of Padme or his mom. And it's almost like he's kind of being pulled to the light side a little bit. And the Empire just uses that to his advantage.
Exactly.
I like that idea.
You could do so much. And you could do it not only could you do so much, not only could you take it in so many directions, but you could also do it so well. Like, I feel like with the right cast of like just like maybe like four or five people that's like Vader's kind of like inner circle. You have the right cast of people that like are able to kind of maybe carry a whole, they're able to, carry an episode by themselves if need be.
Well, I mean, you look at it, that's it's Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Like with the way they shot all that, I mean, it's just a different suit and a little bit more lightsabers.
And since we threw out the whole expanded universe like that, like I feel like it's wide open.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I'll tie into that because I think this happened more, I think, between 3 and 4.
Before you go there, in the expanded universe, there was a fucking group of assassins. I think they were called the Nogri, and Vader, I think, killed their leader or whatever, or they attempted to kill Vader, and Vader fought off a bunch of their attacks, and so they eventually are like, okay, well, you killed our boss, so now I guess you're in charge of us.
Oh, so it's like when you feed a dog.
So he had like his own like personal like group of assassins that he'd send out to go fucking kill shit. And the only reason I know that, and it was so fucking cool, but in one of the books, I can't remember which book, but in one of the books, the old books, Leia runs into the same group of assassins. And this is post Return of the Jedi. But Leia runs into the group of assassins, and not to kill her, but because Vader died, they look for the next person in.
Oh.
And so these assassins show up and she thinks they're there to kill her. And then they fucking bow in front of her and they call her Lady Vader. And I'm like, that's fucking boss.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like the whole episode of that, like the torn between good and evil on that.
Oh.
Well, so it's one I had on here as a Star Wars, my only Star Wars one. And it ties into Darth Vader a little bit because she works with Darth Vader. I've mentioned it numerous times on all of our shows, and I think it'd be fitting for a TV show because it's kind of a Mandalorian type of level character.
Okay.
Dr. Aphra. She's the character that's basically like I think like Indiana Jones, but kind of more chaotic, neutral.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of just in it for herself. She works with Vader quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's more of working with Vader to not die. And she ends up getting herself in positions where Vader wants to kill her, but she gets away.
Yeah.
The best part about this is the comic relief you'd get because there's an R2-like robot or droid, and there's a C-3PO-like droid, but both of them are programmed to be basically like chaotic evil. Like the one 3PO, I think it's like R3PO maybe, but he loves to torture people or species.
Yes.
Which would be great because he he goes up to like, can I torture this person? She's like, no, we need him. He's like, oh, well, for another day. And when he is able to get the switch and get the beat on her, he's basically in control of her then. Because he's like, oh, well, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to tell Vader where you are. And it's just this whole like awesome like misfit kind of thing.
Yeah, you get it's the droids, like you always had, like you had the droids in the movies, and this is the exact same dynamic as the droids, but they're bad guys.
Yeah, they're psychotic.
Yeah. So you get like it's basically like an R-rated version of R2 and 3PO.
Yeah. But like she's not, she's more like I said, chaotic neutral, or she just kind of does what she needs to do.
She's like it's Dr. Aphra, but isn't she like an archaeologist or something like that?
Yeah. That's why I say she's kind of like an Indiana Jones. She's going to try and find, but instead of being like, it belongs in a museum, she's like, it belongs to get me credits. But I think, and that would be cool. Like you could set that one up to where it's showing her meeting Vader, and that could be like a flashback into kind of like with what Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel did in a few episodes. Where you have this thing taking place, 30 years later, but it flashes back into a previous episode of Darth Vader. So if you wanted those two series going on at the same time, something like that would work.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. You could fucking I feel like you have the Vader series, and then you introduce Dr. Aphra in the Vader series, and just like Buffy and Angel, you put Dr. Aphra in the Vader series, and then you spin her off later.
Ooh, do you think because that takes place between 3 and 4. Dr. Aphra. So if you did Darth Vader from like right after he goes, no.
Yeah.
You could have where he's kind of like reliving these moments or like retelling these moments. And that's what cues back into like that time. So like Dr. Aphra shows up in the Darth Vader episode. And he's flashing back talking about something he had years ago. And we see the episode where that is. But then in the Dr. Aphra episode, it's her going after that thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Would you want this live action or animated?
I'd want it live action, I think.
Me
because
too.
What Mandalorian did.
Me too.
If they said the only way they're going to give me one of these is a cartoon, I'd take it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're giving me the choice, I'm going to pick live action.
Yeah.
But if you're saying you only get cartoon or nothing, then yeah, of course.
Because she's a little risque and she's kind of like it's a little grungy. Like it's a not NC-17, but what's the highest rating on TV? Is it like PG-17?
TVM?
Yeah, this would be like a TVM kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the other one I would add on to there too. With your Star Wars Dr. Aphra.
A fucking Vader series would be so goddamn good. Oh, the things you could do with it.
Yeah. Well, I tied onto your Star Wars. So the other one, I haven't talked about any Marvels yet. And I kind of was trying to think of like, with any of these shows we're going to get on Disney Plus, it's probably going to be like a side story. And the one that I would be really interested in, because it'd almost be kind of like, it would be back. I've mentioned Buffy a lot, but it'd be kind of like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer Scooby Gang type of thing. And it would be Marvel Blade, but it would be Hannibal King and the Night Stalkers.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you do this as kind of like a high school teen kind of thing, where they're going after like a monsters of the week, and you make some big bad that they go after for like the first season.
Yeah.
But it's definitely that Scooby Gang type of thing. And I don't even know if I want Blade in it. I think I just want like Hannibal King to kind of be the leader. And
who would you have play Hannibal King? So, okay, so I guess not a lot of people know about the Night Stalkers. The Night Stalkers was I wouldn't even really call it a spin-off comic. It was back in the 90s, Marvel was churning out new comics all the time. And one comic they came up with was the Night Stalkers, which was Blade. Blade was in there. I don't think it was his first appearance in Marvel, because I think he showed up in Spider-Man, I think, before that. But it was Blade, Hannibal King, and Frank Drake was the other one. I always forget the third one because he was all right. But Hannibal King was a vampire. He was a vampire.
Well, he was he unturned? Like he was a vampire, but they cured him. I know they did that in the show, in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So his appearance in film, he was in Blade 3.
Yes.
And he was played by Ryan Reynolds. So.
Yeah, which I don't know if I'd want like a Ryan Reynolds-esque character. Just kind of poking through some stuff. The one that kind of feels maybe there is the kid from Maze Runner. But he's a little too weak. But if you want somebody older, the guy who played the lead on Sons of Anarchy, Charlie Hannon.
Oh, okay.
He might be kind of fitting.
So there was Blade, Hannibal King, and Frank Drake. So there was this team of 3. Ghost Rider showed up a lot with the Night Stalkers. I think Morbius maybe showed up a little bit, which I was gonna say, considering the way Morbius, the way from what I've seen of Morbius so far, I feel like they could, we could get a decent, some decent stuff with vampires out of Marvel.
Yeah, but they don't own that though, do they? Morbius.
No, it's technically Sony. So actually, I don't know. Well, no, no. Marvel's got the Night Stalkers because they have Blade.
Yeah, they would have Night Stalkers.
They have Blade, they have Ghost Rider. And so, yeah, that shouldn't factor in. So you're right. This would be Marvel's first foray into vampires.
Yeah, which they were going to do a Blade movie. They announced that.
They did.
This would be.
They had a good casting choice for Blade too. I was down with that.
I think I've casted him a bunch of stuff, but the guy from Stranger Things, Dacre Montgomery, he would probably be pretty good if you wanted a little bit younger Hannibal King.
Okay. So what would you have them do? Like they're just basically like the Buffy gang?
Kind of, yeah. And I always like the idea of like the vampire families or vampire groups that they always talk about. They kind of did that in the Blade TV show. And I really think, if it depends on where you sell this at. Like, let's say this comes out after Blade. So maybe Blade makes that discovery of like, hey, there's this family of vampires or whatever, but he can't go after him. He can't investigate all of them because he's fighting bigger, badder things.
Right.
So Hannibal King and the Night Stalkers start kind of tracking down these groups. And maybe at first you think like it's just a couple like, what do they call the covey of vampires? I always thought they had it's like a nest, but
I think it was like a coterie.
But like maybe the idea at the end of the first one was like, oh, well, maybe there aren't that many. It's a dying species. Mm-hmm. And what Hannibal King and the Night Stalkers find out at the end of season 1 is they're thinking they're fighting all these little covey of vampires. But really what it ends up is that these vampires have their like fangs in so much of like the world, economic and politics.
So now there's this huge conspiracy is what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, we thought this species was eradicated essentially, but no, there are a lot more of them than what we thought.
All right.
And here too, like depending on how far Marvel wants to go, this is where you can introduce all your supernatural stuff like werewolves, maybe more ghouls and ghosts and things like that.
Now, would you bring Ghost Rider in? Because Marvel owns Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider showed up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I didn't see if it was any good though when he did.
It was all right. I mean, it's not Nick Cage.
Yeah. I thought the first one wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
I didn't see the second one.
It was all right. It was basically like it was your quintessential sequel. It was like, hey, all that stuff in the first movie, let's do more and bigger.
And less acting, more action.
But you can't do less acting. It's Nick Cage, for fuck's sake.
True. He's the overactor of everybody. But I would really like Supernatural's kind of coming to an end this year, so like people are going to be looking for something like that. Boom,
okay,
pop them right into that.
Would you do it? Okay, so now you said Supernatural, so like you have these shows like Vampire Diaries and stuff like that. Would you put kind of more of would you make it a bit more teen friendly?
Yeah, I think it depends on who you cast. If you cast like Dacre Montgomery a little bit younger, Hannibal King, I think you definitely do something more Buffy, like high school, not quite CW, maybe a little bit more mature than that.
Okay.
Because I mean, Vampire Diaries, the first season or two of that actually wasn't terrible. Supernatural's not bad. Some of the other ones aren't great, but I think you'd want to open it up to that audience.
Yeah. I actually have nothing else. I had two big ones that I was like, this definitely, and this definitely, and that was all I got.
Well, I've got my big money pitch, which is one that I don't think they would do. I think they tried to do it, and actually, the guy from Community, Donald Glover, I think was leading it. But I think doing some kind of Deadpool series would be really cool.
Oh,
like I think he was doing a cartoon and he did a joke and they're like, yeah, you can't do that. And he said, well, fuck you then.
I don't know. Like that.
I don't know. The Harley Quinn cartoon on the DC one looks good. I haven't heard any bad things about it, but then again, no one has DC Unlimited or whatever it is.
Well, see, that's the thing with Deadpool is like Deadpool is like your quintessential, like funny narrator. So like with his own, like the only way his show works is if he's like involved with a bunch of other things.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think each episode would be focused on a different superhero. So like maybe this episode is him and Spider-Man.
Like there was a comic series where he got a hold of the Infinity Gauntlet. And he and nearly like destroy the entire Marvel universe.
Well, there's one where he is going through and like history and killing like all the great authors of all time.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, I guess the last issues, he's like at the person drawing the last comic and kills them.
Yeah.
But I think, there's a Blade series I have. I've only read a little bit of it, but it's like Blade going around and fighting other superheroes that have turned to vampires. But you kind of have Deadpool just kind of like dropping in on these like serious situations in the Marvel universe as cartoons.
You know what? Here's what you do, Shawn. This is exactly what you do. You ready? You re-release the entire Marvel catalog and you just inject Deadpool into given moments throughout the entire Marvel, like from fucking Iron Man all the way to Endgame. You just stick Deadpool in there like to fucking crack jokes.
Well, and it's kind of one of those things too, like he's Easter egged all throughout too. So like there's like 6 spots where like he really is like up front and center.
Exactly.
But then there's like another dozen where he's in the background.
Yeah, he's just like eating a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
That'd be sweet.
And then you go to Disney Plus and it'd be like Marvel's The Avengers, the Deadpool edit.
I'd watch them all.
Mm-hmm.
Even Thor: Dark World. I know I haven't really heard many people talk about it much more, but I know some people said like he should take over for the Stan Lee cameos, and there should be a Deadpool cameo in all the movies. But I don't know what they're gonna do with Deadpool. They say they're doing a third one.
Yeah, we are. I mean, as far as I know, we are getting another Deadpool movie.
But is Disney gonna just kind of Disneyfy that?
Well, yeah, because we lost the director for the first 2, right?
I don't remember.
I think we, or maybe maybe the director for the first one had already left by the time they did the second one. I don't remember.
No, the first director I think was only on the first one, but
yeah,
it's still in its infancy. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, this is gonna happen, and then like 5 years later, like whatever happened to that thing? Well, I'll finish up. I always like to kind of throw out an original idea. And it's just a little bit of a synopsis, and I think there's been a show kind of like this, but
all right.
Again, I'm looking for it could be cartoon or live action.
I'm right now I'm the Disney executive. All right, what do you got?
So you follow this young kid who's following his parents. Their parents are going from place to place.
Is the kid a dog?
No, it's human.
I don't know about that.
People don't like kids.
They're like animals.
Okay, the kid's a dog.
All right, go on.
His name is Woofus.
That's perfect because it's like Rufus, but with dog sounds.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I'm getting harder by the second.
All right, you know how to make this happen, right? No, I don't. What do? You got to take the Disney Plus. So the parents kind of go like from place to place researching like items or things. Think like Warehouse 13.
Oh, I love that show.
Oh, yeah. But this is kind of more of a kid's, like the kid is the one solving the monster of the week type stuff.
Okay.
So the parents go and like there's like weird occurrences or something like that, or they're just trying to identify what these artifacts are, like help these people out. And the kids are the ones that are doing these like actual investigation, finding these supernatural events, these supernatural creatures. And they're the ones to solve these mysteries week to week, kind of underneath the covers of their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And you think like they drive around like this big RV going from place to place. Maybe some of the items they find they take back to some warehouse. I'm not really sure about that part. But I just like the idea of having, it's kids show. So you have the kids that are like, you have the bumbling parents who can't quite see what's going on. And maybe
so you're basically saying like a teen version of Warehouse 13.
Essentially, yeah, with a little bit more supernatural in it, except without the guns and knives.
Okay.
And maybe
I
do
Warehouse
something
13.
Like
I the keyboard that I have in front of me, I got it because of Warehouse 13 because I loved that fucking keyboard that the older guy had at his computer. It's like that had all the typewriter keys on it. I was like, that's a fucking badass keyboard. I want.
So is it like the hard clicks?
Yes. It's a mechanical keyboard.
Does that make it tough at night when you're trying to look up porn?
No, because I just click. Plus, I mean, I've looked up enough porn at autofills.
You just click it and it says porn. You're like, yep.
Yeah. Send.
But I just like the idea of again, we're losing Supernatural. This is, there's not really any of that stuff on Disney Plus. And I don't know, maybe you make it like the kids are at a certain age where they can only see these things, and as you get older, you can't.
Yeah.
You have some twist there that what's the reason why they can see these things? And maybe that's what the whole first season is discovering, like, well, why can we see these things but other people can't?
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes it a little bit, like you make one of the kids super smart.
It's gotta be written well. Otherwise I feel like it's gonna be kind of tropey and feel
well, it depends how you want to
feel too simple.
Yeah, it depends how you want to do it. I mean, you could do like a Scooby-Doo-esque kind of thing. So maybe it's just traveling kids, so it is really like Scooby-Doo. And you have your Velma and because that's the character tropes of Scooby-Doo, Saved by the Bell, Friends, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they all kind of have the same character build-up. They have a smart one, they have a crazy one, they have a leader one, they have a hothead. Like that's all kind of very typical. You can do the same thing here.
True.
And and what would be cool is maybe if you found like different like urban legends, maybe that's what they're doing. So you find like these kind of like how Warehouse 13 did. It's like, oh my God, this is Edgar Allan Poe's typewriter. Why is it possessed? And I don't know. Like, I guess the question I would propose to you, like maybe they're trying to find proof of an afterlife. Okay. Because maybe their parents died in a tragic way.
Oh, okay. And so almost just like Supernatural.
Kind of, yeah. Except in Supernatural, they know that things are supernatural.
That's true.
This, maybe each time when they're trying to find those, they basically pull the mask off and it's just a person. Or it's something that they can explain.
All right.
I kind of like that idea, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's a few things that kind of like you look at, it's like, well, maybe
let's
that's
find
the
out
proof.
who you really are.
Yeah. Mr.
Everybody
Rogers.
is Old Man Withers.
Mm-hmm. I like if you watch the newer Scooby-Doo episodes, they make fun of that.
Yeah.
Like there was one episode or one movie they just came out with, and like all the monsters were Mr. Withers' family. Mr. Withers, Mrs. Withers, Cousin Withers, Grandpa Withers. That was great.
That's good.
But Richard, like I said, we just came up with like 10 great Disney Plus ideas.
I'll await your call, Disney.
Yeah, Mr. Disney.
Mr. B.W. Disney Smith.
I like your guys' mouth. You mean our stories and our ideas? No,
yeah.
Your mouth.
We're going to get a call.
Yeah.
Like, you talked about Disney on the internet.
We're not going to
That'll be $8,000.
We're going to get a cease and desist. No. And then they're just going to take our ideas. Wolfris? That sounds familiar.
Wait a minute.
But, well, Richard, what do you have for some Richard's closing thoughts?
Like I said, Disney, call me.
Email us, tweet us, Facebook us.
All of the things. At the end of the day, I think that we're talking about things that we want to see and things that a lot of people want to see. And this isn't coming from a place of, everything you have is shit and this would make it better. Like this is just two bros and we're just saying, hey, you could do this. We know you can, and you could do it really well because you have all the monies. So make us happy. Just make us happy, please.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like if they made all what we talked about, I would cancel Netflix and Amazon. Like I wouldn't even take 2-day shipping.
Nope. Just let me make a Darth Vader TV show.
Oh, what if what they told you? Like, listen, Richard, you have to spend $30 a month on Disney Plus, but you have to cancel everything else.
Ooh, that's rough.
Richard, you're going to get 52 episodes.
Ooh, that's a lot. I could handle. Are they releasing week to week?
Yeah, it'd be week to week.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that. Because so basically, like, I just spend a year watching Darth Vader. Yeah, I could do that. I still get to go to the theater and see movies and stuff, right?
Oh yeah. You just can't have any other streaming service.
Just on the streaming front.
Yeah, because I mean, all the movies you're going to see in the theaters are Disney movies anyway.
That's a good point. Caught me.
Yeah. Like, I can still go see Marvel movies, right? And Pixar movies, right? And Star Wars movies, right?
Well, in that case...
Can I just direct deposit my money to you, Disney?
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah. All right, well, let me do a little bit of housekeeping. Visit our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at languageofbro. Email us at bros@languageofbromance.com. Like us on Facebook. And like I said, we are coming up on our 300th episode. So tweet us, Facebook us, email us. Just let us know, hey, I'm listener, whatever your name is, because we want to say thank you guys for listening and making this 300 episode journey amazing. We've already had a couple people reach out to us, and I'm excited to spread your names across the internet. If you don't want your name spread across the internet, you could probably tell us that too. But
mention that.
Yeah, that's a good.
That would be key.
Like, hey, I'm kind of in hiding because I work for Disney, and there's a memo out that says we can't listen to you guys because your ideas are all amazing.
I've been pitching your ideas for months.
Wolfritz is going to get me that corner office. But yeah, we're excited for that. We always like to say thank you guys very much. So, and remember, you can always check us out as part of the Pod Bros Network,
the podcast website that is nothing if not a treasure trove of ideas.
Very true. All right. Was there anything else before I close her out?
No.
All right. Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard.
And remember, Disney, don't be a why. Be a why not.
Fucking Vader on television.
I mean, Richard, how much do they have to pay us a year? $100,000? I mean, I'm sure they wipe with more money than that.
If you're letting me make, if you're putting me in charge of a Darth Vader show, like, I'd do it for 50.
I mean, you don't even have to make it. You just be on set.
Yeah.
Like, what color should his lightsaber be? Red. That was my idea.
Guys, I contributed. I'm part of the creative process.
Richard, I have a new podcatcher for you.
Okay, first, what is a podcatcher? Because I don't listen to podcasts.
I know, I look at our downloads. But Richard, a podcatcher is the app you use to get your favorite podcast. The most common is, of course, Apple Podcasts, but I found one that has really cool features. So podcasting is a silent medium, right? The way you find a new podcast is by what non-listeners tell you to listen to. Good Pods, Richard, is a podcatcher that I found and gives you ways to see what your friends are listening to and help you find new podcasts.
Okay, well, wait. Couldn't I just tell you what I listen to?
Well, from time to time, you may see someone share a podcast on some type of social media, but who pays attention to that? Am I right? We obviously do that all the time, and people don't see it. But with Good Pods, Richard, you can see the actual podcast your friends listen to, and then you can, right from the same app, listen, subscribe, and then you, Richard, the listener, can share those podcasts.
Okay, but wait. Does this thing do anything else? Does the podcatcher shine my shoes?
It does not shine shoes, but Richard, you can find brand new podcasts to listen to while you shine your shoes. Because Good Pods, Richard, makes searching for podcasts is one of the best out there. Not only by podcast name, but by episodes and authors. Good Pods UI is really sweet, and they are providing updates all the time to improve it and make it the best podcatcher out there. Plus, on Good Pods, you can rate, share your thoughts on each podcast episode to help others find the podcast they will love.
Okay. All this does sound good. Everything you're telling me sounds good. So, question. I do not understand phones. Where do I get it?
Oh, it's simple, Richard. Just like any of the apps you buy for your phone, you go to the app store of your choice and search Good Pods, GOODPODS. You download and rate Good Pods, and obviously subscribe to the Language of Bromance and rate the next episode you listen to.
Yeah, because then you catch pods, and then you would catch our pod, and catch our pod
because you don't want to catch anything else.
Yeah, and you can catch our pod on Good Pod.
Because our pod is a good pod.